Good morning, everybody. This is SuzyQ in the SuzyQ Report for June the 15th, 2020. Yesterday was an awesome day. Yesterday we celebrated the president's 74th birthday. Florida was it was awesome. It was lit up from one coast to the other coast with a flotilla, with boats that were decorated in support of our president. We had birthday parties. I was at a local coffee shop called Conservative Grounds. We had a birthday party. We had, I don't know, a ton of people that was there celebrating the president's birthday. We had car parade caravans celebrating the president's birthday, and I can assure you that when we got done, things were left a lot cleaner than they were when we started. Unlike what you're seeing in these democratically controlled communities where you've got rioting, you've got people destroying and defacing the property of others. You have crazy Seattle, you've got New York, you've got Atlanta, you've got all this stuff going on, and you've got domestic terrorists in there tearing and destroying neighborhoods and communities. And while I'm at it, you know, I do have compassion for the community, the black community who are offended and hurt by the killing of George Floyd. That was wrong in every sense of the word. He had a right to have his day in court. He did not deserve to be killed like he was. That was horrible. And those law officers need to be held accountable and pay for their crimes. That being said, the Black Lives Movement at the core is being funded by the same group that is funding the Antifa. And make no mistake, they don't care about George Floyd. All they care about is destroying our country, destroying our Constitution, and bringing America down to its knees so that it will be sucked into this global regime, this global communist agenda that has been trying to take over the globe. You don't have to believe me. Do your own research. It's out there if you want to. If you open your eyes and you get yourself off of the mainstream news that is deceiving you one article at a time, you will open your eyes and you will see. So that being said, people are like, why isn't the president doing anything? And the president, I heard somebody making a comment about how stupid it was for him to walk over to the church, the burnt out church by the Antifa, with his Bible. He was not talking to the American people. He was giving a message to the deep state, the evil, satanic deep state that was trying to take down America. We still had the Bible. We still had God. And that was what his point was. And so people, of course, they were attacking him. We find out that there was one person that was sprayed with pepper spray. The Secret Service did admit to one person that was out of control. And of course, the mainstream media made it sound like there was just tons of gas being poured out on the protesters so that the president can walk over to the church. That was a lie. That was propaganda. And you know what? Most of the people bought the crap. But you know what? Patriots knew. Wait. Don't analyze it. Don't judge it based on false, fake media. Step back and wait and see how it plays out and see what the truth is. That's what we are told to do. See what the truth is before you start reacting and start being angry and stuff. So anyway, that being said, make no mistake, the president knows what he's doing. The president is not absent from the situation. He is not taking his hands off of it. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's allowing these crazy radicals that are controlled by foreign actors, foreign people, as well as domestic people. He is letting their plan play out because they're playing right into his hands. There is a great plan. There is a plan to restore order. There's a plan to restore freedoms and create a just system across the board. But we first have to weed out the deep state actors, those people who have been in strongholds in communities across our nation for decades and have done nothing but sow division and racism and divide amongst Americans. Regardless, they divide us by our race. They divide us against by our religion. They divide us against our sexual orientation or whatever. Anything to keep us divided, because our forefathers hundreds of years ago knew that if we stayed united, no foreign entity could come in and take over. But if we started getting divided, that's when we would fall. And that's what they've done. They've come in and sowed seeds of division across the board. And let me say, yes, we had a problem with racism. There has been issues in our country from the founding, but we have gotten better. We have gotten better, but there's entities that are trying to keep that divide and keep us separated, keep us hating each other. That is intentional. That is intentional to bring our nation down. But your average Americans don't hate each other. There is a deliberate attempt to divide and to create hatred in our nation. And they're using useless idiots out there that they draw into this battle they don't need to be there. They need to get out and watch the actors, what they're doing by sowing these seeds of division, whether it's leadership in the Democratic Party, whether even the Republicans. I don't think that they're totally out of this, but the majority have infiltrated the Democratic Party to the top. And this is not about an election. I mean, it is. We have to get out and vote, and they want to take back power that they had 4 years ago. They want to continue that, but it is even more serious than just an election. This is about the systematic destruction of our Constitution, of our country, for the benefit of outside foreign actors like your George Soroses and those other global entities that are trying to absorb us into their global agenda. And so we are fighting back, and they are fighting back. That's why it's so horrible. But what you will find out is that the president has always been ahead of this plan. He knows we've got people infiltrated into their ranks. We've got intelligence. We've got, there are cell conversations. We've got emails. We got all that stuff. We've got everything we need. We're letting it play out so the American people can wake up. We need you to wake up and see what's going on. You need to take off the blinders and pay attention. Your mainstream media is doing nothing but propping up this evil. You need to change your source of information. They are doing nothing but trying to keep fueling the takeover of America. So anyway, but this morning when I was going over my posts and stuff, I ran across an article that was written by theatlantic.com, which, made a mistake, that is a communist newspaper. It is, China is definitely supporting that paper. But anyway, in it, they wrote this article, and this article came out in April, when we're in the midst of people getting frustrated about being quarantined. And it didn't make sense that we had to be quarantined when sunshine and light and heat kills the virus, and everything didn't make sense. And so in this article says Trump is threatening to subvert the Constitution. Well, there is a loophole in the Constitution in certain events where the president can go outside the Constitution. And there has to be certain events take place in order for him to legally be able to do this. Okay? And what we're seeing is those events are happening right before our eyes. They are walking right into this. They are laying it out. They are doing it right in front of the American people, and the president is allowing them to do it. They're falling right into his hands. Okay? So anyway, in this article, it says, President Donald Trump on Wednesday threatened to do something no president has ever done: formally adjourn Congress that is, end Congress' current session and force it into recess for the express purpose of installing his own people in federal jobs, possibly even judgeships, without having a formal, without having to follow the normal process of Senate confirmations. Doing so would subvert American constitutional design. And he is very aware of this. But there has to be certain conditions in order for him to be able to do this. And if you realize that what's going on behind all this chaotic scenes, there is subpoenas being issued for those who are responsible for the Russiagate, those who are responsible for framing General Flynn. We have this going on behind the scenes. We also have Hillary having to give depositions for her emails. We've got a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that you're not seeing in the news because they are covering the riots. Conveniently, the riots are taking over the headlines so that nobody is hearing that there is like up to 50 subpoenas being issued. I mean, it's a lot. And on top of that, we're up against crooked judges like Sullivan or whatever his name is over the Flynn case. So anyway, so that being said, that article talks about the president subverting the Constitution. Well, in 2017, Q posted a post. This was Q Post 14. It was posted on October 31st, 2017 at 10 p.m. And it says, military intelligence and state secrets. And in this post, Q made these different comments. He said, military intelligence. What is state secrets and how upheld in the Supreme Court? What must be completed to engage military intelligence over other three-letter agencies, your FBI, your CIA, other different agencies? What must occur to allow for civilian trials? Why is this relevant? What was Flynn's background? Why is this relevant? Why did Admiral R, I think it's, NSA, meet Trump privately without authority? Does POTUS know where the bodies are buried? Does POTUS have the goods on most bad actors? Was Trump asked to run for president? Why? By who? Was HRC next in line? Was the election supposed to be rigged? Did good people prevent the rigging? Why did POTUS form a panel to investigate? Has POTUS ever made a statement that did not become proven as true in fact? What is POTUS in control of? What is the one organization left that isn't corrupt? Why does the military play such a vital role? Why is POTUS surrounded by highly respected generals? Who guards former presidents? Why is this relevant? Who guards HRC? Hillary Clinton. Why is Antifa allowed to operate? Why hasn't the MB, Muslim Brotherhood, been classified a terrorist organization? What happens if Soros-funded operations get violent and engage in domestic terrorism? You hear that? Okay, and this was in 2017. What happens if mayors, police commissioners, chiefs do not enforce the law? What authority does POTUS have specifically over the Marines? Why is this important? What is Mueller's background? Military. Was Trump asked to run for president? with assurance made to prevent tampering? How is POTUS always 5 steps ahead? Who is helping POTUS? So that Q drop was dropped October 31st, 2017. There's a plan in place, and we are going to take back our country. And he is doing it by the letter of the law because he knows that he has to do it. He has to do it by the book. And that is why he's allowing this stuff to take place, so that it will set him up to be able to replace these agencies with trusted people in those places. So don't make make no mistake, he is in full control of what's going on. He is ahead of the game. He knows what they're doing. He knows their playbook because he has access to that information. Anybody that talks about, oh, this is a conspiracy, they're conspiracy, you're talking about the President of the United States who has access to highly classified information. He would know what is conspiracy and what's not a conspiracy. So don't fall into that bull crap that the mainstream media is filling your head with. So I expect in the near future, that we're going to see the Congress sent home. We're going to see that the military is going to take over some of the responsibilities that are up there in the judgeships and courts, because we right now, or previously, Attorney General Barr has been doing a great job trying to weed out these crooked judges, because there's been 2-tier justice. There's the justice for the elite, and there's the justice for the rest of us. And in order to counteract that, the president is having to, we are going to end up in a situation where the president has to appoint his people into these positions to be able to get fair and equitable trials and court and hearings and stuff. So make no mistake, all this stuff, this chaos, is leading somewhere. It's leading somewhere, and we're going to win. We are going to win. So hang in there, patriots. And those who are just waking up, you need to do your research, because it's out there. All you have to do is open your eyes and not let the mainstream media lead you down rabbit holes that they are creating for you. So anyway, this is SuzyQ. I've got to run, but we'll talk about this more. And make no mistake, the president is in control. We are going to restore law and order to this nation. We are going to restore the Constitution to the way it's supposed to be. We're going to rid our country of these people who are more loyal to globalists that are outside America than they are to the American people and their communities. They have been sitting in these communities for decades, and their communities are getting worse and worse, and the crime is worse and worse. The death toll through violence is worse and worse, and the division in our country is greater than it's been in a long time. And it is intentionally being done to destroy our country. We need to come together as Americans, black, white, gay, straight, Christians, non-Christians. We need to come together as one America against this evil deep state that is trying to destroy our country. You do not want to live in a country like Venezuela or like Russia or China or any of these other countries that suppress their people, oppress their people. We need to return to the values of our Constitution and a free republic. We are a republic. We're not a democracy. We are a republic. We are guided by a set of laws. So anyway, this is SuzyQ, and I'm signing out, and I am fired up. I'm fired up. So I will talk to you soon. I had to head off to work. Y'all have a great day, and remember, we're going to win. We win. God wins. Bye-bye.